We're going to name, then classify the triangle by side and angle. So if you look at your angles first, notice how one angle is a 90-degree angle or a right angle because these two segments are perpendicular. So this is a right triangle. Also, notice how two of the angles match. If two of the angles match, then two of the sides match. So it's also isosceles. You can call this a right isosceles triangle or an isosceles right triangle. The only right isosceles triangle in the world is the 45, 45, 90 triangle that you see here. There is no other possibility for a right isosceles triangle than to have these three angle measures. We need to name this triangle also. So we're going to use the three vertices to name this triangle FGE. We're going to do the same thing here. We have three angles, and they're all less than 90. So this is an acute triangle. Also, you should notice that all of these angles are the same measure. If they're all the same measure, then all the sides are the same length. So you can also call this an equilateral triangle. The only equilateral triangle in the world must be acute, and it must have these three angle measures. 60, 60, 60. If they're all the same, then every single angle must be 60 degrees. We'll name this triangle ABC. This triangle has an obtuse angle. That makes it an obtuse triangle. Also, notice how all of the angle measures are different. That means all the sides are different. So this is an obtuse scalene triangle. Now, this is different than the previous two examples. This is definitely not the only obtuse scalene triangle in the world. There's many, many more. If this angle would be a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller, then that would affect these two angles. There's lots of possibilities for this angle being above 90 and all three of them being different measures. So when you're asked to draw an obtuse scalene triangle, there's lots and lots of possibilities. You really should not have the same thing that your neighbor has. We'll call this triangle XYZ. This next one has a right angle. So it's a right triangle. Notice how all of the angle measures are different. So it's scalene as well. You can call it right scalene or scalene right, totally up to you. Lots of different possibilities for right scalene triangles. The one thing you have to have is the 90-degree angle, but these two acutes can be a lot of things. They're going to have to add up to 90, but you can come up with a lot of different options where these two numbers are different and add to 90. We'll call that triangle LMN.